Hello to all the hair besties in the land. Have you ever wanted to bleach and tone in one step? Save time, because time is precious. We don't have enough time in this lifetime, right? And now you can. All you need is Magnemite, which is your bleach, lightener, your developer of choice, 10, 20, 30, or 40 volume. And then you got 3 tones you get to add into your bleach lightener. You have the option of bright, which is our gold tone to add into your bleach lightener. You have your rose, which is a pink tone. It gives you a nice blush reflection to your blondes. Then you have your pearl, which is your violet toner that you add into your bleach lightener. You could do rose and pearl. You could do rose and bright together. You could do bright and rose together, or you can mix all 3 of them together to create a custom nude blush tone. You get to use your choice of 30 volume, 10 volume. You can also use 40 volume if necessary, or you can use our 20 volume. So let's get started on mixing. So first things first, use Magnemite bleach lightener. So you want 20 grams of the lightening powder, and it's your usual 1:2 ratio. So you're gonna use 30 volume, and make sure you use the delicate developer when you can. Okay, so it's gonna be 1:2 ratio, so it will be 40 grams of developer. Pour it right in. All right, there you go. And the model we're gonna use, which is our mannequin here, she does have level 7 hair. You can use 10 or 20 volume, but I wanna show you the maximum potential on what the toning will do. So the first formula I am gonna use is 4 grams of pearl. Watch as I stir and mix this. Lift Me Up is amazing. Just add it into your lightener and boom, you have a violet base bleach. Now I know you're thinking this looks very pigmented, but when you apply to the hair, it's actually a lot of fun and you can actually see right through it. Now we're gonna apply it to the hair. So I'm gonna take a thin slice here on the left side of the mannequin head's hair. Now you're gonna use this like it's any regular bleach lightener. Think of it as a bleach with a toner in it. So I am gonna use a foil board, and I'm gonna do 4 back-to-back foils on this slice. And the reason why I'm gonna do this is so you can see what the tone of pearl looks like. So the pearl is a violet base and it behaves just like your lightener would, but with a tonal deposit. Look how the product just glides right through the hair, just like so, and that's it. And we're gonna do 4 back-to-back slice. Make sure you penetrate all the way though. That's why I love using foil board, because it ensures that you have thorough penetration and lots of pressure to apply the product to. And we're gonna fold the foil up, just like so. So we'll take a clip here, clip the corner here so we get to foil the hair right beneath. And I'm just gonna do back to back. The thinner the slice, the better, because when you take thin slices, what you will find is that you're able to penetrate all the way through. So if you are using a foil board, notice how I'm anchoring my thumb here to make sure we have proper tension of the hair being pulled, so that way you're not just sliding the hair around the foil. I will put the mixing ratio right here beside me again so you get to remember the formula. Remember that it's 20 grams of Magnum 8, your bleach lightener, to 40 grams of your developer, which today we use 30, and to 4 grams of Lift Me Up Pearl. And that's what we're using right here in this section with the foils being the pink butterfly foil. So you see the foils I did here, the pearl. So the next section right beside it, I'm gonna do pearl with bright. Custom mixing your formulas will give you custom tones that are so unique to tailor to your clients. So I'm gonna mix the lightener in the same way like you saw. We're gonna do 20 grams of Magnum 8. We're gonna use 30 volume, 40 grams. So you want to mix equal parts of pearl with bright. 2 grams of pearl, 2 grams of bright, equal parts. This is gonna give you that bright gold tone, and then it's gonna neutralize it out with a pearl, which gives you almost like a violet gold tonality. So it gives you a perfect neutral tone that's gorgeous. Look at this. This is so beautiful. We're gonna mix it equal parts with a whisk. Now, it's all up to you. If you decide to add the toners in after you mix the lightener with the developer, you can, or you can do all at the same time. It doesn't matter, because it will survive. So when you take a look here, it looks like a grayish tonality. Don't get scared. It's gonna give you like that charcoal lift that's very popular, because sometimes when you use pearl by itself, it can have too much violet cast to it. So if you wanna counteract that violet, you're gonna get the perfect tone by mixing bright gold with pearl violet together to create a violet gold lightener that gives you that charcoal-like lift. All right, so you can see the foil on the left side is the pearl. This side, on the right side of her head, will be pearl with bright. A lot of times we don't realize how much we actually need gold in our formula. formula. Not everything needs to be violet. Not everything needs to be ash. Sometimes you get the best results when you get gold inside the formula. So I'm gonna use the peach foil here that this is gonna be the pearl with bright formula. Again, make sure you hold your thumb with tension here. We're gonna do 4 back-to-back foils. So watch as this goes on the hair. Look how gorgeous that is. What you wanna do is apply the product onto the mid shaft and then work your way up. Oftentimes in the past, we just slap the lightener onto the top near the scalp, and that's not good. You wanna apply most of the packing through the mids and then spread the product up slowly. That's how you get the most beautiful blend. And if you need more tension to pull the hair down, always turn the brush vertically, pull the hair down. Always make sure you penetrate all the way through. You're gonna love this formula. When I pull the foils out on this side, you're gonna see how white and icy the hair looked without a trace of that violet tone. And oftentimes we kind of stereotype gold to think we don't need it, but trust me, most of the time, most of my formulas always have gold in them because gold is what's gonna give you balance in life. All right, so that's my 4th foil. I'm gonna wrap this last guy up and then we're gonna go to the next formula. So you can see that I fold the back side of the mannequin's head. Now on the far right side of her head, we're only gonna use Magnum 8 by itself. So you can see the contrast between lift and tone and lift with lightener by itself without the tone. So always keep in mind your level. So if you're a darker level, lightening up to a level 9 or 10, you're always gonna have contributing underlying pigments. If there's gold in it, your pearl is gonna have to combat a lot of the gold, which is fine because if you want to tone on top of it, you can, but if you lift up to 10, you can definitely see the clarity of the toner with the lift me up. So we are gonna use 20 grams of Magnum 8. I'm gonna do 30 volume as well, so you get to see exact lift that you're getting. And we're gonna whisk this right on up. 1:2 ratio is the standard for lightener that I feel that I love the consistency of and the lift of. And that is the mixing ratio I prefer for both Big 9 or Magnum 8. But right here, this is only the Magnum 8 lightener by itself with no toner. So on this last section here, I am only using the lightener by itself. It's very important that you see the contrast between the lightener by itself versus with the Lift Me Up toner in it. Your mind will be blown when you can see the difference side by side. And we'll just do 4 back-to-back foils, be done with this side. So we get on to the next side, which I will only use 2 grams of the pearl because I find it's very important for you to see what 2 grams of pearl looks like next to 4 grams of pearl. All right, that's 4 back-to-back foils. Boom, we're going on to the next section where we will only use 2 grams of pearl. All right, so again, your 20 grams of Magnum 8 lightener bleach. And then we're gonna do 40 grams of 30 volume. Now it's up to you. You can mix it now and then put the toner in or pour it all in at once. It doesn't matter. All right, 2 grams of the pearl toner. Only 2 grams. Now you'll see the result that you get with this is a little bit more gentle of a toning result. Sometimes less is more. You don't need that much toner in, and you're gonna get a very light pearl violet bleach here that will be more subtle in your toning. Okay, I'm gonna apply it onto her head right now. Watch as I paint on the foil here. Look at that tone. See that violet bleach that we're all craving? It's very light and soft. So you get more of a softer violet cast because some of us don't want the hair to be overtoned. Now, I know a lot of you will reference our original Lift Me Up chart. I'm just gonna put the original chart here so you can see it. The original chart gives you 3 mixing ratio options, which comes with the oil. Now, what the oil does is you have the choice of using it with the oil so that way you get more of a natural high lift blonde dimensional result. When you're using the new chart, which I'm gonna put right here, you get more of strength with the lift and more of an animation with the color deposit. So a lot of us are looking for that lightener that will lift its maximum strength while depositing that maximum tone while looking soft at the same time. The new mixing ratio will give you that. I'm gonna do back-to-back foils here with 4. You're gonna use the green foils with the flowers on it to represent the 2 grams of pearl. And 4 back-to-back foils is what we're doing. Once you start using this new mixing ratio, you will see the strength and the lift. So you can see here in the bowl the contrast between the 2 grams of pearl versus the 4 grams of pearl in the bowl. Look how much more darker and how much more deposit you're getting with the 4 grams here versus the 2 grams. This is amazing to see them side by side. Take a look at our mannequin head right here. She's a natural level 7. So when you have a warm base, it looks best if you have a warm highlight so the highlight can stand out. This is where bright comes in. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna mix 20 grams of Magnemite. So we're gonna do 30 volume, and again, 1:2 ratio, so that's 40 grams of developer. So we're gonna do 4 grams. So we're gonna mix. This is gorgeous. You get like a really warm, sunshiny lightener. And the tone survives inside of the bleach. All right, we're gonna highlight this into her hair. I'm gonna use the air touch technique. So you can see here, I'm gonna do just her parietal section here. We're gonna do the air touch technique so you can see a lot of the highlights just travel through the ends and the length of the hair. Now, when I lift me up with the bright tone, you can see the golden tonality in that bowl. Look how gorgeous that is. It gives you that beautiful gold tone without effort. So we're gonna do the air touch technique. So how you do this is pull the hair, hold on to the length, get your blow dryer. Just like so, blow out all the short hairs. And you can see here, all the hair that is shorter is now blown out. So you're only highlighting the long hair. And this is where the bright lift me up really accentuate that length because we want to highlight this part, which is the length of the hair. Now we're gonna paint. Oh, look how gorgeous that lightener is. This is how you're gonna get that sun-kissed blonde that we're all craving. So you can see how you can see right through the tone and pigment while the foil's sitting on the hair. You can see how sheer, vibrant, and bright that gold tonality is. And that dye survives living inside that bleach. And that's the magic of Lift Me Up. And that's why you're gonna use this every single day in the salon. So I finished foiling the bright Lift Me Up into her hair, and we're going on to the next section, which is the back. We're gonna use the Rose Lift Me Up. The Rose Lift Me Up is gorgeous. So we're gonna do 20 grams of Magnum 8s, and then I'm gonna do 40 grams of 30 volume. So you can see what the lightener looks like by itself without any of the toner in there. Let's add 4 grams of Lift Me Up Rose into the formula. Boom. Now let's whisk that right on up. Now don't get scared. I know it looks hot pink right now, but once you apply to the hair, it's actually very soft. If you're lifting the hair up to a level 8, there's lots of gold in it. So when you put the bright toner into your lightener, you're gonna get like a rose gold tone. If you're lifting up to a level 10 or 11, you're gonna see a lot of pink tones in the hair. All right, so I'm gonna do 2 different formulas. I'm gonna do a 10 volume and a 30 volume rose side by side on the mannequin head. So you can see what 10 volume would do and what 30 volume would do. Because 30 volume is gonna lift higher, which will lift past the remaining pigment contribution. So you get more clarity where you'll see more pink. And we're gonna do the 10 volume where you're gonna see a little bit more of the gold underlying pigment. So you're gonna get more of a rose gold tone. Side by side will really gives you clarity on what 10 volume and 30 volume will do. Okay, so this one's gonna be with 10 volume. Again, 20 grams of Magnum 8. We're gonna do 40 grams of the 10 volume. Boom, pour her in. We're gonna do 4 grams of the Rose Lift Me Up toner. And we're gonna whisk that right on up. And this one I mix it all at the same time. And you will see how 10 and 30 volume makes a huge difference. All right, we're ready to apply. We're gonna do the 30 volume with bright. Okay, so I want you to see how beautiful the bright Lift Me Up lightener with the Magnemite looks like. So let's go ahead and paint the lightener onto the foil. So we're gonna swatch this out in the back. We're gonna do 4 back-to-back foils here so you can see how potent this color is. Isn't that so much fun? So what you're gonna get is beautiful pink highlights in the hair that's done in one step. There's so many ways you could utilize this. If you use 10 volume, you're gonna get more of a rose gold. If you use 30 or 40, you're gonna see it pop. You could also use this as a foundational lightener before you apply a superpower pink direct dye shade, magenta shade, violet shade, which is great because if you're gonna put purple or violet on top of pink, they pop even more. So this is where the pink lightener will become your best friend. You could mix the rose into the bright to create more of a rose gold tone. You can mix the rose into your pearl to create more of your lilac blondes. So there's a little bit of a pink cast, so it's not too ashy, but you get more of a blushy pearl tone. So you get to be creative here. You get to intermix however you like, how you see color. It allows you to be creative as a colorist. You can see there, now I'm just gonna fold it right on up. It's important for me to show you what 30 versus 10 volume will do. All right, so this next section, I want to show you how you can be very creative with your lifting color process. I want to show you this technique that I love to do that you can only do with Lift Me Up. It's called ombre light. So it's highlights that's ombre'd in, because you're able to do this because the bleach has 2 different tones. It makes it so much fun when you're highlighting. So get your foil board. So your first panel here, we're gonna highlight with the bright formula. So this is the gold bright lightener. We're gonna place it right onto the hair. You can saturate down. Make sure you have a flat canvas here so you get to be as creative as you need to be. Spread the hair out a little bit, and you can see the bright formula side of the lightener. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is, right? So now that that bright formula is in, watch as I ombre the rose right over and feather right on down. And you create that ombre light. You see how right down here, it's very blended right on in. And you can do a foil overlay here. Let's say you want to lay the foil down so they don't smash on top of one another. Or you want to fold the foil up so it gets closer to the head for incubation. You can fold that right on up, flip that foil right on over, and repeat. So here is the swatch for custom formulation of Lift Me Up. This is the bright mixed with rose on level 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is what we're aiming for, that we're gonna get with that ombre lights. All right, the key is put the bright formula down first, so that way it's already sat on the hair as you're highlighting, so you don't cross-contaminate over to the bright formula. You wanna make sure you establish that this is fully applied onto the hair, all the way down the strands. Now, you don't need much product on your bristle, so you're gonna start from up here, feather down, just like so. And then you can work your way up and feather down. And that's it. Pretty simple, and that's the ombre light. You will find that the results look very natural. All right, the mannequins has processed for an hour and it's time to pull out. I'm gonna pull out the first side here. This is the side with the 4 grams of pearl. This is the moment we've been waiting for. I'm gonna hold this whole section in my hand. Whoa, look at that deposit. So you can see with 4 grams of pearl, you're getting that smoky, pearlized, icy silver tone. Look at that. Now, we're gonna rinse it all the way out. And you can see where it started from. This warm level 7. This is that pure, icy, pearlized silver. And can you believe we did that in 1 step, no toning? Again, this could be a great canvas if you're doing like a shadow root that's charcoal, or if you want to put a different direct dye over it, but you don't need to. This is done in 1 step. Now on this side, remember, this has the pearl with the bright. So let's go ahead and pull this side out as well. Pearl with bright is going to give you that perfect violet gold neutral tone without being too silvery and ashy. Look how gorgeous this is. Oh my gosh, look at this. Do you see this tone? I told you from the start how we need gold. Gold is everything. So mixing gold with the pearl gives you that perfect balanced tone. So here's pearl by itself on my left hand. This is pearl with the bright gold together. You get that cool blonde, but doesn't look too silvery. Now remember, on this side, this is the pure bleach by itself. You can see how it's just raw. So we're gonna pull that out as well. Now raw will look brighter because there's more gold in it. There's no tone, and this side has tone. But we're gonna dry it and you'll see. Oh my goodness. All right, you could definitely see a huge difference without toning. This is why it makes a difference when you tone the hair. So this is the bleach by itself, the Magnum 8 by itself with no tone. See how you can still see the underlying pigment, the gold. This is the pearl with the bright, which tones the hair. And this is pearl by itself. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 1 step. It's a no-brainer. So let's check out the side with the 2 grams of pearl. We're gonna pull out so we can see it next to the 4 grams. You can see how potent the Lift Me Up is. This is just 2 grams. Okay, so let's compare the 2 grams of pearl to 4 grams of pearl, side by side. 2, 4. You see where the 4 has a little bit more of that violet cast, and then the 2 grams is a little bit more softer. You see how you don't need that much? 1 gram, 2 gram, boom, pop. Once this dry, it will look a lot lighter and brighter. Always remember that damp hair always look darker. I'm gonna shampoo out with the new My Hero shampoo. Okay, we're gonna shampoo this, and then we'll be back because I'm gonna rinse out the rose mannequin head as well, because you guys need to see this. This is gonna blow your minds. It's amazing. All right, this is the next mannequin head. This is the rose. We're gonna pull out the rose. One was with 30 volume and one was with 10 volume. So we're gonna pull this one out. Oh my gosh. This is no joke. 10, 30 volume, whatever, it's popping. Oh yeah, this is gonna be gorgeous. See that? Oh, It's so soft. And this is in one step. Unbelievable. Now keep in mind, it looks a lot more pigmented and darker because the hair is wet. So let's rinse out this side. Oh my goodness. So this side was with 30 volume and this side was with 10 volume. And you can see the difference immediately on wet hair, that the 30 volume gives you more lift, which erases the gold that lives here. So you can see here where there's a lot more gold, you get more of that warmer amber rose tone. And here you get more of that pinker tone because you lift it all the way up to a level 10, where this only lift up to about a level 8, 9. So you can see as I stretch the hair out, you can see where this gives you that hot pink, this gives you more of that rose gold. Now, when this is shampooed and blow dry into the hair, it looks a lot more lighter and softer. And also keep in mind, we did a whole chunk. So imagine if you weave this through the hair, or if you air touch or backcomb the highlights into the hair, it will look more natural and soft. Now this sets a great foundation if you were to do, let's say, a pink direct dye on top, or if you want to tone on top of this, you have that foundation. The pink already is gonna be so gorgeous. Just you wait until I dry the hair. It's gonna change your life. Okay, we're gonna pull out. This is the bright blonde. So you see how this golden blonde is gonna complement her natural, warm, golden base. This is the perfect tone. Now, all of the back comb is up here, so you can't really tell, but once this is diffused, it's gonna give you that perfect golden foundation. This is the best choice if you're starting with a warm brown base and you wanna highlight but retain the warmth in the hair. So you could clearly see already how when this dries into the hair, how this tone will complement this base. All right, so then we're gonna switch over to this side. This is where we ombre the rose with the bright mixed together. Oh, we're pulling out. So let's see what happens. Let's rinse this out. Okay. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. So this is the ombre lights. I want you to take a look here. Look up here where it's nice and peachy because the rose overlaid the bright. And as we come down to the ends, you see the bright highlight right down here. So you see the gold into that peachy tone of pink, that blush pink. And look how it ombres itself down. Gorgeous, right? So when I lift the hair up, you can kind of see that pinky tone through here. And it's hard to tell, but once the hair is dried, it's gonna be gorgeous. I'm just gonna go ahead and shampoo her out with My Hero shampoo and conditioner, and then bring her back dry so you can see the results. And the results are in! This is the Pearl formula. Look at the pigment and dye load with only 4 grams of tone. So gorgeous, it looks like a steel gray color. It mutes all the warmth. And so right here on this side, you can see that we added in the bright gold with the pearl. This is where gold is so important in our formula when we want to naturalize the tone. And you can see here, the starting level is a 7. So if you highlight the hair, do you really want to have gray highlights next to a warm brown base? Probably not. So by mixing the pearl with the bright gold, you're getting a VG, violet gold tone, one step. And you can see in contrast with pearl by itself, you can see the difference in the tonality. One is a little bit more pearlized grayish in tone because the violet cancels out the yellow. And then on this end, you get more of a balance, almost like a sandstorm color. Now, on this end here, I want you to see the difference with only using the lightener bleach by itself. You can see how much tone has been deposited in. So this is raw. Putting the raw bleach lift next to the Lift Me Up tone, you can see a huge contrast. Now I'm gonna cross this right on over to the pearl so you get to see that tonal deposit. Look at that. Here's the Lift Me Up pearl with the lightener bleach, and this is the raw bleach by itself. You can see definitely it has tonal deposit. It's indescribable how you're getting deposit without the bleach eating up the tone. So on this side, you remember I only did 2 grams. So this is 2 grams of pearl. Look at that. Only with 2 grams of pearl, you still get so much deposit, but it looks more natural. So you can see how 2 grams give it more of that ash blonde result. 4 grams give you more of that steel gray icy result. I want to show you the mannequin we did with the rose and bright. So you remember how we did 10 volume on this end. Here we did only 10 volume, and over here we did 30 volume. Looking at the 2 tones side by side, you could definitely see the one with 30 volume has more animation because the hair has been lifted to a 10. So you get to see more of that pink. This is gorgeous to lift the hair pink in one step. So on this side, because we see more of the underlying pigment of the gold, it has more of that amber rose gold reflection. So we're remember, as you lift the hair, there's warmth. So if you lift the hair to level 10, this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna see more pink. If you lift the hair to a gold, you're gonna see a little bit more of that rose gold amber tone. With that being said, I want you to know that I placed the color in a block, so it looks a little bit chunky, but this is the result you could get utilizing an ombre technique, a foiling highlight technique, a backcombing technique, or an air touch technique. So you can see here, this is the rose highlight done, and you can see how shimmery the result is. Look at that dimension that gets added in. The rose is not scary. I know when we do a chunk of it, it looks dramatic, but when you highlight it into the hair, it gives you unbelievable results. You can even use it with 6 volume if you want to highlight the hair and make it look more warm. So you remember our air touch technique that we did? Look at this blend. This is with the bright gold. So you remember the ombre lights technique. On the ends, we only did the bright by itself, and up here, I overlay and blur in the rose on top of the bright. And this is where you get that kiss of that blush pink tone to give it that really soft ombre feel that looks wearable and soft. Now, this is a block, but imagine if you highlight this into the hair, it will look gorgeous. So let me know if you have used the Lift Me Up system before and how you feel about it. If you have any questions about it, leave your comments below. I'll make sure to answer the questions for you. Make sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Twitter, and subscribe, like, and hit that bell so you get notifications to all my videos. And of course, follow my music on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon Music, anywhere you consume music. And I'll hit you with one of my songs. Bye!